Now let's talk about software development maturity model, right? So software development, we have seen it's a big process. And oftentimes there are multiple teams which are involved into this, right? Now there are multiple processes which are part of the software development
Yes.
team, right? How do we make sure that we are actually making some progress in terms of maturity, that we are maturing as a unit when it comes to the software development, right? That is where, guys, there is a concept called as maturity models. And we already discussed about CMMI, what is that? But for software development, there is a separate documentation from CMMI which comes in. It is called as software capability maturity model. And how does that work? As you can see on your left hand side, right? There are different levels for this. And just to recollect here, just for refresher for everyone, this CMMI Institute is a subsidiary of ISACA. It's a subsidiary of ISACA, and this helps accessing the maturity level of the SDLC process in all the different phases of SDLC. Now, what is the philosophy behind CMMI? Right? So the philosophy behind is that the quality of a software, it depends on the quality of its development process. If the process is mature, the final delivery is meant to be good. So the focus is always on the process. Okay, and CMMI also describes these different levels. What you see on your left hand side, initial, then level 2 is managed, level 3 is defined, and then quantitatively managed and optimizing. Let's try to understand this with an example, right? So I started with a startup in year 2008, and at the time, I was very new to the industry. My main focus was to survive, to get some hold onto the market. And I'm short of resources, I'm short of process. So that is where there is almost a little or no defined software development process. If that is the status of your company, then it will fall into level one. Okay. Now, now that after some time, maybe 1 year or 2 years down in line, we have some clients and the similar kind of request coming from the client, and there are some already something which we have worked in the past that is now helping us to actually just follow those steps, and the problem will be kind of sorted out. If that is the thing, if you are able to reuse your code and some kind of libraries or some kind of functions which you have already made, and team is able to use those prefabricated process or kind of libraries or whatever, if the team is effectively able to use that, then this will fall into manage. You are able to repeatable, you are able to repeat the same things effectively now. Right? So that happens in 2009. What happens in after some time, the team feels that no, because the team size is now growing, and we need to have something as defined so that every person in the team is aligned with the expectations and is very clear on what need to be done, what need not to be done. Right? So this is where the team will actually go and define a formal documented SDLC process. Okay, now the process is defined and the team is also following that. If that is the status, then it will come under defined. Slowly, as we are maturing here with time, the team is also able to quantitatively do some assessments on where we are, and we are able to measure the progress onto this. And this is also where your SDLC process is working very well with other process in the ecosystem, right? Such a state is called as quantitatively managed, right? So you are proactively, you are able to actually quantify the kind of KPIs and KRIs and things like that, then your development is into phase 4. Okay, that is the level 4. And then the top one is optimizing, as you can see here, right? Optimizing is where there is a continuous improvement on controls, right? Like you have all the defect prevention controls which are applied, and there's something related to the technology and process change management and those kind of process. Your process is very well integrated with your enterprise kind of process, and your team is always proactive in estimating any kind of risk and all, and also finding out any gaps into the SDLC process and immediately update the process. So that is where, if your team is able to do that, then we are able to reach to the level 5. That is optimizing. Most of the companies nowadays, they at least strive for level 3, right? Because level 5 is really very difficult to achieve, and not that is too difficult that it cannot be achieved, but it requires a lot of effort. And uh, those organizations which are highly formal in their approach, and they are very focused in their approach, like NASA and all, they actually go and strive for level 5. But as a normal software company, level 3 makes a lot of sense, and we should be always striving for at least level 4. Okay, so that is how the maturity level comes. This maturity level provides a lot of you can say assurance to the leadership team that yes, my SDLC process is good, and that is where I can actually rely on that.